All right, welcome to the Carbcast podcast. I'm Oli, and I'm here with my dad.
Emilio, come on.
And it's been a while. I think it's been like a month or almost a month now since
Yep,
our last
yep.
one.
I think we're gonna have to maybe do monthly ones from now on.
Maybe we'll see.
We're
We'll
more
see.
consistent with that.
Yeah, once a month rather than once a week. We'll see how it goes though. I think I've been
Yeah.
busy, quite busy, and I think you have as well.
I've
So
actually really, really wanted to, like, there was a couple times I was like, let's do it. Um, but yeah, I've been super busy.
yeah, there's been a few times where I was like,
And,
man, I kind of want to do the podcast again, and then like I'm always doing something else or something else is
well,
taking my attention away.
what have you been busy with?
Um, I have just moved into my first apartment away from my parents for
Oh,
the first time. Um, and I think
good you.
that's what we're going to talk about this episode is kind of
Yeah.
moving out and experiences with that and how it's gone for
Did you
me
like
and
how I,
you.
I segued into that?
Yeah, I loved it. It was like professional level. It's
I
higher professional
don't
level
know
than
how to do that and ruin it.
yeah, professional level than we're used to.
Yes. Yeah. All right. I'll mess it up now.
Okay, yeah, we'll both mess it up somehow, some way.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the past, I think, yeah, it was literally last month I moved in. 30 days to the date.
Oh wow.
hmm Have to pay rent for the first time today.
How's that?
Pretty good. I saved money. I know what I'm doing in
Uh,
terms of money, so um,
you,
I always
you've
make
always
sure I
been
have.
good with money saving and
Yeah,
planning ahead.
yeah. It's the one thing that I do plan ahead on is money. So I always make sure I have. I always do extra for everything. So I'm like, okay, this is exactly how much I know it is, right? But whenever I
Hmm.
calculate my finances and stuff like that, I always add like a couple extra dollars onto it just in case.
So, I mean, I've moved a bunch,
hmm
and I know what it's like, and I'm sure anybody else has moved. This is kind of your first move,
Yeah, first away from
and
home.
talking about finances and planning ahead. How much money did you spend? Not like a number, but like, did you spend more than you thought you would moving, or
I don't
did you even
think
plan for
so.
that?
Yeah, I pretty much planned for it. I had saved because I knew I was going to be moving out, so I had saved like $300 from every paycheck. Um,
Mm,
for like the 3 months or 2 months leading up to it. So I was able
yeah.
to pay both the first month's rent and the deposit immediately, and had no
Oh,
issues.
okay.
So yeah, and I was pretty. I wanted to make sure that I had enough money for food and whatever's and groceries. So
Yeah.
I made sure to have
Well,
that
and
as
that's what I
well.
was kind of getting at is every time I've moved, it's been, I mean, you're moving, so that's already a stressful event.
hmm
Um, you plan for 6 trips or whatever,
yeah, yeah,
and then of course you're running around all day long, driving back and forth. You don't want to cook, so you eat out. You got to get gas, snacks, drinks.
yep.
Uh, get into the house. You're like, well, I need to clean this first, and you go back to the store.
hmm
Every
Yeah,
time I've ever moved, it's always been like, I think I spent more money
getting all the extra
in
stuff
the
out of the way.
moving process than it was for like the deposit or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds exactly like what it was. I thought that we'd have everything moved out in like 2 or 3 trips, but it ended up
Yeah,
being like seven.
yeah.
Just because like I had a lot more like stuff, like I had a lot of like small things, so I was like, oh, like pack it all into one thing and it'll be like one whole trip for all this small stuff. But then all the small stuff takes up so much space that you don't realize that you just have to take more
Yep,
and more trips. And then
yep.
yeah, having I think we had to go to the store like 4 times in the first week
Yeah,
just because we were getting
uh,
stuff and forgetting to get things.
yeah. Plastic bag, garbage
Yeah.
bags, toilet paper. Right, they
Yep.
just, yeah. And you think about that, that all adds up, even if it's just a $6 item. You gotta drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, like, so I was expecting to spend a lot more gas than I did and than I do now, but it's because
Mm-hmm.
like, because I was looking at the times it takes to get places in this area, and it was always like high, like 20, 30 minutes or whatever, or like 15 minutes. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna
Oh
spend
yeah.
a lot of gas. Turns out it's only like 5 miles, but it takes 15 minutes. So like, or that's for work. So I don't spend that much gas for work. I don't even have to fill up every week. It's pretty impressive.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, and
So
that'll save you money right there.
yeah, it was. But yeah, that was the thing. I thought I was going to spend a lot more in gas than I didn't. I didn't, which
Yeah.
was really the biggest like expense out of the way. I was like, oh god, I'm going to spend like $180 on gas or something like that. Nope, it was. I think it was close to $80, but that's it. And that
For
was
your whole moving expense,
yeah.
or
So
oh, that's not bad.
it was for like my car and the truck we used to fill it. We filled that
Oh
up
yeah.
with like 40. So it was literally like one tank of gas or $40 for each vehicle.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that bad. And I might not even have spent that much on my own car because it's a pretty small car, so it gets pretty good gas mileage.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving is one of uh those stressors that like probably every stress that you could ever have in life
All
is
in
all
one.
tied up in one.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I don't think it. Well, I don't want to say surprisingly because I think this is just how I am, but um, I didn't feel it until after I was already done, and then I was super stressed
Yeah.
out afterwards. For like
Yep.
everything's already done. I'm fine. We have all the bills paid, like all the food's there, like we're moved in, everything's organized. Well, I would say that organizing was probably the most stressful for some reason, but
Yeah.
it was literally at the end of it. That's where I felt it all, and I was like, oh man, this sucks.
Yeah. That's where you
Which
just throw the mattress on the ground and
yeah, that's kind of what I
sleep for a
wanted to
couple
do.
days, and then you're like 2 years later, oh, I should probably put my bed together and take all that
Yeah,
stuff out of the boxes.
yeah. Luckily, it wasn't that bad, but it
My
was definitely
buddy,
like a where do I put things? Oh my god.
yeah, my buddy that listens to podcasts, he moved from, well, he moved a great distance. I'm not exactly sure the mileage on it. I think it's like a 16 plus hour. It's got to be longer than that. I think it's like a 20. He moved a long, long
Yeah.
distance. And if it were me, which, I mean, you got like the sentimental stuff, I'd sell everything else. Like, no, I'm not packing that.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah,
Which,
you can make like probably a 50% of the money back if you
I,
spend
I
on
don't even
stuff.
care about that. I'm not packing it and driving it across the
Yeah.
country.
Well, that's what I'm
There's no
saying. Like
way.
it's like a at least you get some of the money back so that you can buy it again.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I've never had to make that kind of a trip. I know he likes where he lives now, so that's good. But and I know he's had to take a couple trips to go back and get stuff
Whew.
since he's moved. But yeah, I don't like to drive.
I hate it too. I don't
Uh,
like driving either.
my last move, I moved what, maybe 6 blocks.
Yeah, it was like a minute away.
Yeah, and that was still too much. I was not having it. I
Mm-hmm.
was throwing stuff. I had. It sounds bad. I think I took like 3 or 4 loads, like truck loads, trailer loads,
Mm-hmm.
to the dump.
Yeah.
But I was at a point where I was like, well, and I was kind of a hoarder back then, especially in my shop.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I kind of get the same
but
way too.
I was just, yeah, I was just like, nah, I'm not packing that up. I didn't even know I had it. I haven't probably had it for 10 years. I didn't know I had it.
That's funny.
Going to the dump.
Yeah, that's good. That I think it's better that way, especially when it's just like junk that you probably won't ever use. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, well, and it's funny, like, talking about the shop part of it. Well, I was more artistic with the metal,
Yeah.
um, and I got rid of a huge chunk of the metal that I had. I'd say, well, the only thing I really kept was stuff that I could make knives out of.
Hmm.
But there were some pieces that um, I kind of wish I wouldn't have got rid of, but it was just one of those. When you're moving a house that you've been living in for, I think, what, 10 years? That had 9 kids in it?
Yeah, I think it was it that long.
I think it was.
Well, it was close. It was definitely close to 10 years, but I
Yeah.
don't know the exact
Uh,
time. But yeah,
but yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of, and I mean, I'm talking about like my hoarding in the shop and then everybody else's hoarding in the house
yeah, and all
and my
the
hoarding in the house.
and all the kids stuff that
Yeah.
like nobody touches anymore because they outgrew it.
Yeah. All the broken stuff that nobody's used. And
The broken toys, broken
yeah.
things.
Like I mean, your stress was, I mean, I feel your stress when you move. It don't matter when you move, it's always stressful, but
Yeah,
that one I was just like, nope, going to the dump.
get
Going
it
to the
out of here.
I took more trips to the dump than I did to the new house.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I actually got rid of anything. I like I said, I don't really have a lot. Like I think all my stuff literally fits into like two corners of the entire apartment. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
I I have like a lot. Like I said, a lot of small things, but they're all like collectible stuff that I like. So it all
Oh
fits into
yeah.
like small areas.
Well, and that stuff you pack like nice and neat and everything.
Yeah,
You don't want damage.
yeah.
I know when we moved the last house or to this house. Well, I never even helped your grandma move. It was like last minute, just
Mm,
throw everything into
yeah,
bags, and doesn't matter if it's a collector. We got to be out tonight
yeah. Get
at
out of here.
8. It's 7:30. We got to be out tonight at 8. So pack up the rest of the garage and the house
Yep.
and the grocery bags.
Just start throwing it in the back of the truck.
Yep, yep. That's exactly what it is too.
Yeah.
Speaking of your grandma, she's moved. Um, and I feel so bad for my dad.
Three
I was
times this
trying to
year?
think, huh?
I said like three times this year?
I think it's 3 times this year and probably 6 times in the past maybe 3 years.
Yeah. It's pretty
I feel
crazy.
like I might be wrong on that, but it's been almost, yeah, yeah. She's moving into her new house now.
Hmm.
Luckily, she has the finances to not have to like our house got sold and we had to be out in like 30 days,
Hmm.
but we were waiting for the people that we bought our house from to move out. So then
Oh.
it just made it like a 2 week process.
That would make it
Yeah,
even
it
more
was.
stressful.
It is. It's really stressful because there's a lot of stuff you can pack,
Yeah.
like the small stuff, but then there's stuff that you just
You
like
you can't.
your kitchen stuff.
Yeah, the kitchen stuff,
Yeah,
you can't
you.
pack it.
I mean, you got. I don't think at that time we had 9 kids when we moved, but um, what you need all your dishes and your food and
Yeah.
everything
Cookware.
in the fridge. Like it has like all that stuff has to be like moved last minute.
Hmm.
And luckily for her, she don't have to do that. Like she can afford to keep. I think she just put her other house on the market right now,
Yeah.
just today. Um, so, and I was telling her the other day, I was like, man, as much as you've moved in the past year, like you think you have this more organized.
Well, no, because you
Like
keep it
everything be
unorganized.
labeled.
You keep it
Uh-huh.
unorganized so that you could just throw it back in a box and then leave.
Yeah. She don't like boxes. She likes grocery bags.
Grocery bags.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how you do that.
I don't think I use grocery bags for anything like
I
moving.
oh really? Oh, and moving.
Yeah, in moving, I use
I was
grocery
gonna say,
bags
then
to
you're
pick
not
up
Mexican at all.
cat litter. That's what I use them for.
Oh,
It's the best. You just double bag it, put the cat litter in, and then you like tie it, and it's good to go. You throw it in the trash.
oh. Well, you put your sandwiches in it, your lunch.
Well, I have Tupperware for that, man.
Oh, I'm the worst with
Yeah,
Tupperware.
I don't forget it like you do.
Yeah, well, yeah. Not that I forget. Well, I do forget it. I
Yeah,
forget it has food in it, and then
yeah,
I
and then
leave
you have
it.
to get rid of it.
Then I'm like, I'm not opening that fucker up. Throwing that in the dumpster. That stuff was not that expensive.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, she.
What?
I can't remember how many. We were trying to count the other. I think I counted 12 houses that she's moved. Um, and I honestly don't think this is the last one,
Probably
but she
not.
might stay there for a little bit longer. But
Interesting.
moving two people compared to kids, that's a whole that's
Yeah,
a whole nother
it would
ballpark.
definitely be. The more people, the more chaotic it is. You'd think it'd be like the
Yeah,
better it is, cause like um, more hands put stuff away faster, but then people get upset or bored and then walk away
yeah,
and
yeah. Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Upset and bored,
mm-hmm.
bored and upset, hangry.
Hangry. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it's
We've moved
definitely a
quite a bit,
stressor.
like with mom, throughout the years, and it was definitely like there was times I remember one time specifically where I wasn't paying attention to like food or water, and I was just moving. So like once we finally called it, I realized, oh crap, I feel awful and I'm gonna die. That's what it felt like.
Oh yeah,
So I was like
yep,
sick and throwing up and dehydrated and stuff like that, and it was awful.
yep.
So you gotta make sure to eat and drink, otherwise it's bad.
Well, that's like I said earlier, like just the expense of moving
Mm-hmm.
as you're moving, like the food and the drinks and stuff like that. But you're so stressed out and you want to just get it done. You just focus on it, and then you realize I'm so hungry. I haven't ate all day.
Yep.
I don't think I've drank anything. Yeah,
And it makes it
it's such a
worse because you feel
stressor.
bad. And then
That's where you just like,
it's even worse because like when when you're burning that many calories, like you're not
oh
used
yeah,
to eating enough to support that amount of calories you're burning. So then your body
yep,
feels worse
yep,
because you're like, oh well, normally I wouldn't eat from this time period to this time period, but yeah, at the same time you're not burning, you know, 600 calories in that time period as well.
well, and that was like what I was saying with like there's a period of time like you can pack so much,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it's go day, like you pack up all your food that goes in the fridge, and then you got to pack up the fridge and um, all that stuff. So then you don't have any food, like it's all in boxes, and you
Yeah.
don't know where anything's at.
So that's when you go to
And
like fast food, and then that costs the most.
yeah, yep, absolutely. Like about the only thing I think for me one of the most memorable foods is Papa Murphy's.
Yeah.
Like takes 15-20 minutes to cook a pizza, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Feeds
was
everybody
McDonald's
and
for
feels
us
good.
because there's a
Hmm.
McDonald's right down the street, so we got that twice. Or yeah, I think it only took us like 3 days total, but one of those
Not bad.
days was like packing everything, and then the next two were like bringing it over and unpacking it.
It's funny. not funny, but I was thinking about this the other day, like when moving, because I think you said something about moving. Like I wanted to get over and help you. The mom's moving too, and I haven't helped her move in like 3 houses.
Yeah.
Um, but one, she don't ask me anyway. I've always, whenever I've moved, like I hate asking people for help for
Yeah.
that. Um, so I've always figured it out on my own because I just, nobody wants to help.
Yeah. Nobody wants to help
And
shit like
those
that.
people that do come over and show up and help, it's super nice. But uh,
Yeah.
it's just one of those.
It was definitely.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
think
even
it comes
think
with moving.
so. Blake and yeah, pretty much just Blake helped us, but I didn't even ask
Oh,
him. He
really?
he was just like, "Hey, you need help moving?" And I was like, "Sure."
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
nice of him.
Yeah. So if without him, I probably yeah. If it would have just been us, if I he didn't offer.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I'm making excuses, but where you live to compared to where I live,
Oh yeah. It was. That's why I didn't ask anybody as well. Cause like I think I asked one.
yeah,
I didn't ask someone. I said, "Hey, I'm moving this weekend. If you're not busy and you want to help out, you can." That's what I said to a buddy at work with me because it was from
yeah,
Nampa to Boise, and that's where he was at. It was Nampa. So I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
he's the closest, so maybe he can help out." But I wasn't gonna ask family because they're 30 minutes from Nampa, and then Nampa is 30 minutes from where I was moving, so it's pretty rough.
yeah. Well, that's always a thing right there. Like, it's just I don't know. I hate to put people out, and I'd love to help out as much as possible, but I remember going to help. Oh, who was it? I don't remember who it was. I think possibly a friend
Hmm.
move, and I really didn't want to go. And I was like, yeah, I'll go and show up. And they wanted us to pack stuff in boxes and then load it up.
Ah, no.
Yeah, I was like there for like 2 hours. I was like, no, I'm done.
No, like I'm. If someone asks me to help move, I will be like picking up boxes and moving them, and maybe even
Yeah.
taking a load over there. But I'm not packing your boxes. That's your job.
I'm not going through your dresser drawer
Yeah.
to pack your clothes and stuff. No,
All right.
that's
Here's
pretty
the
much what it was
underwear.
too. It was
Like,
ridiculous.
yeah.
That's like, I don't know how. I guess people are different. I don't know how you can ask somebody to pack your stuff up.
Yeah. I don't know. That seems odd to me, and it seems like an odd
Yeah.
request as well.
Yeah. No, I can't remember who it was. It probably doesn't matter.
No.
Probably forgot them because of
You're like
that.
after this, I hate these guys.
But yeah.
they
Yep. Yep.
they suck.
But I don't know. It's I either way. Asking people for help is. I mean, they're taking the time out of their day, and
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I. I
I,
don't think I asked
I
for
know
help.
there's people that will do it, and I just I don't want to do it. Why would I ask you to do
Yeah. Exactly.
it?
I think I'm like a. When it comes to asking for help, it's like. Um, it's like small stuff that I know they know how to do. So like for
Yeah.
example, like when I was doing the gun stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh, well,
Oh
how
yeah.
do you like properly tap this?" And you'd just be like, "Oh, do it that way."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But nothing big. I don't think I ever asked for big. I don't think I ask for stuff a lot at all. Cuz I don't
Yes.
like what's it called?
Okay.
Um I don't like receiving a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
I didn't really realize it until like recently. Um I so obviously when you start working at a new job, you make new friends, and one of the friends that I made, he was like, "Yeah, you don't like accepting anything, do you?" And I was like, I guess not. If I've known you for like a month and you pointed it out, then I guess I don't."
Yeah. Isn't that funny how people can pick up stuff that you didn't even know?
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I've been going through some stuff and people are like, "Oh, yeah, I seen it." Like, well, I didn't see it,
Yeah.
so
Well,
thanks
thanks
for
for the help,
thanks
man.
for telling me. Thanks for telling me later.
Yeah, after I already suffered through all of it.
Yeah. No, no. It's yeah. But I mean, think about the reason why you don't want to ask for help or receive help. Um, I mean, I know a lot of people that will help, and that's probably why I don't ask for help either. Is like if I ask for help, it's not because I'm being lazy. It's because I really need help.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's like
but then
I
there's
don't, I
that
won't
that
ask for it unless I
uh,
really, really need it.
yeah.
That kind of thing.
But then there's a lot of people that are like, "Well, you asked me for help, now you owe me."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Which that would
So I think,
suck.
yeah, and I've dealt with that a few times, and it's just like, no, I'm not gonna ask anybody for help. I'll figure it out. I mean, some guy made the never mind. I lost that one. What did it say about the temples? What do they call them?
I don't know. The
The
temples,
Egyptian, not temples, they're
the
the pyramids.
pyramids. What?
Damn.
What are you even talking about?
Like the moving the big rocks.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
did them on their own.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Well, I
talking
don't
about.
think they did them on their own, but yeah, they did them on their own
Well,
because it
the
was
only reason I
definitely
say that
multiple
is because
people.
I seen this video where this guy's demonstrating how he can move like 300-pound
Oh
rocks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw it. He's like English or
Yeah,
something like that, huh?
yeah, yeah.
That was pretty
300 plus
impressive.
pound. But
He's
like, if
just
they
like,
can figure that out, like,
yeah. I find it
I can
hilarious
figure
because
out how to
like
move my couch.
scientists and historians have been trying to figure out this issue for years upon years, and some English dude's like, "Hey guys, this is how you do
Simple.
it."
It's simple.
Yeah, physics. But yeah,
Yeah. I don't even know if you have to need to know physics. It's like
no, you just need to know how
try a couple things and be
stuff
like, oh,
works.
this works better than that way.
But in the end, that is
I'm sure
physics.
physics helps.
Now that was another thing with moving is I was like I was worried that a lot of the heavier stuff I wouldn't be able to do on my own.
Mm.
Just because I've
Are you upstairs?
yeah, it's 3 flights of
Yep.
stairs on the third floor.
I
So it was. I mean, it was kind of bad in some portions, but not really. Um,
would just leave my stuff along the stairs.
yeah, just drop it on the ground.
Like I'm done.
No, there was
Like
definitely
I'll pick
some
it up
things that
in
I
a couple
couldn't
weeks.
do on my own. Like if it wasn't for Blake helping out, I wouldn't have been able to do it really, or it would have taken 13 times as long. But
Yep.
it's just surprising because like I started going to the gym in the past year or whatever, 6 months, and I was always like, oh, I can't lift that. Oh, I can't lift that. Oh, I can't do that on my own. And then when I started moving, I was like, oh, I can. So it was a pretty big like oh, this is actually working moment rather than like uh, anything else
Yeah.
for going to the gym. It was like a good indicator because like in
That
moments like
you've made some progress at the
yeah,
gym.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh well, like you don't see anything physical happening, like there's no progress or blah blah blah. Or some guys like to take
That's
pictures
there.
a lot so that they can see physical progress, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care for that kind of stuff. So it was
Yep.
nice to see that like, hey, I can actually lift this now on my own,
Absolutely.
and even up 3 flights of stairs. That was pretty impressive. Pretty big moment.
I don't. There's been stages in my life where I was somewhat fit, and 3 flights of stairs, I'm just too damn lazy.
It's definitely
Like, nah,
by the time
not
I'm
good.
up and down them,
But
I'm
no,
like sweating and can't breathe.
like the second one, you're like second flight of stairs, you're like, why am I? I'm not gonna move.
Yeah,
I'm going back home.
I'm throwing stuff down the stairs.
Just leave it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
someone else can get it.
Yeah, I'm not walking up these stairs every day,
Uh,
even after I move. I need one of those grandma chair things up
the
there.
grandma
Stairs.
chairs. I'm surprised these apartments don't have elevators. They're pretty fancy. Like,
Are they?
yeah, well, I don't. Whenever I think of apartments, I don't think of anything fancy, so these are pretty fancy to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's good.
yeah, they're pretty nice.
That's good. I was gonna say something. Yeah. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Okay. Yeah. Moving to. Yeah, I was waiting for you to say something, and then I was like, okay, well, never mind. I guess I gotta figure
I
out
had a
something.
good line and I lost it. I
Yep.
lost it. I heard the Mexican music down the street. I was thinking tacos. My neighbor, I know he's cooking tacos right now.
Heck yeah.
I can hear his music playing.
Oh, there's actually, literally down the street from us. There's this. I think they're a couple or a family or something that always sells tamales, like right next to us.
Oh,
I haven't gotten them yet because um, I'm cheap, and they're like $25 for a dozen, which is not bad. But at the same time, I don't want to spend twenty five
what is
dollars on
that?
food I'll eat immediately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I guess if you think of it that way, I was
yeah,
thinking eat it within a week.
yeah.
But
That would
yeah,
be more
probably
real.
right.
But it's
I
tamales,
don't think
so
I was actually gonna make some tamales today, and I'm trying to finish a knife for a banquet.
mhm.
It's got to be done tomorrow, and I'm like maybe halfway done. But anyway, I wanted to make some tamales today, and tamales are an all-day process. I don't know how they make them. Well, 25 for, well, what is the math on that?
25 for
Quick.
12. Yeah, I don't even know. I think it's
Anyways,
I think it's amount
250.
divided by cost. Let me see. Calculator. $2.
Somebody, quick.
$2.08 or something. If that math is correct, that doesn't seem right, but
Yep, yep. That's what I was thinking. $2
no, yeah,
something.
that's $24. So I guess
Yeah.
25. It's a little over $2. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Well, it's not good,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm talking about tamales that I like. Every time I ever bought them, they were like $12.
Yep.
But I guess that was back in the good old days, like 2001. Not one. 2021. Gosh, keep messing that up. Anyway,
2020.
I was trying to think of how many times I've moved, and I was gonna write it down before we got on here, but I think it is probably 8 times.
8 times?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Now I gotta figure out how many times I've moved. I think it's definitely more than 8 times. Because mom moved around quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think she moved on her, like, just alone probably like 6 times, so I'm probably moved more than that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's probably around 6 times. And then now this one's 7. I don't know. Somewhere around the same amount. 7 or 8 times.
yeah. Yeah.
But then that's a lot
I
for
probably moved.
20 years, 21 years rather than however many years you are.
Well, you're 21, and I'll be 41 in December.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
41. I don't even feel that old, but I do. I won't get super excited. I'm super excited. Have a grandbaby coming.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Super exciting.
Finally, Grandpa.
Finally a grandpa. Is that a good thing?
I think so. I was telling Darcy that now that one has a child, is having a child, like everybody's just gonna might have like 27 grandkids in like a year.
In like 4 years.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see on that front. But he's
yeah.
basically, how old is he? 19?
Oh, I think
20?
he's 20.
So he's around the same age as you when you had me.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
Yep. I was trying to think about that right there, just in moving in that. So I wanted to move out when I was 18,
Hmm.
but I didn't have the balls to do it. So then, uh, well, your mom got pregnant.
Hmm.
This is her fault, not mine. Um, and so we moved out. We moved into an apartment over kind of where she's at now, but well, I think how about that?
Yeah, pay it.
Um, Trying to think of how many times we moved around there.
That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know how many times you guys moved when I was younger, obviously, so I can't really calculate it properly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess if you add that up,
It's
you
quite a
moved
bit.
quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
You didn't help moving though.
Yeah, I know. I could have pulled my own weight, but
You
I
sat
figured you
around
guys could
in your
could take it.
diapers and complained and wanted a bottle.
Wow, how selfish.
I know. No, I'm trying to think. So we moved into the first apartment, and then I think we got a house that we rented. We bounced around a little bit. Back then, though, we had issues with the economy.
Yeah, I mean it
Uh,
was pretty bad.
it wasn't too bad, and then it got really bad to where we moved to the city, where kind of where you're at.
Hmm.
Um, just because that was the only place there was a lot of work, but even there wasn't.
No, and
Like I
that's kind of what
still
it is right
struggled.
now as well. There's
Yeah,
definitely like a lot of places to work, but there's not a lot of jobs. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. No, and that's what it was. It was uh, there was like a big boom. I was making good money in the area that I'm in. They were making better money over where you're at. And then when the economy started going down, there was nothing here. So I moved over that way just to survive. And then I think we moved back because I got the job at the prison
Hmm.
because the economy was just, well, there was just no work. It didn't matter what I would do. Like it was pretty much daily. Like
Like
I'd just
new
call
job.
around and try to
Yeah.
find jobs.
That's
Um,
crazy to me because I hear stories of like of that happening, but like in like the Great Depression era, where like people would
yeah,
like go down to the
yep,
docks and
yep.
like hundreds of people would flock to the docks, and then they'd just pick a few every day, and then they'd have a job, and the others
Home
wouldn't have to
Depot,
figure it out. Home Depot?
just like Home Depot, Mexicans at Home Depot.
How many times did you work at Home Depot then, huh?
No, not work at Home Depot. Get
Ah,
jobs from Home Depot,
get
or like
jobs from Home Depot.
you never seen that?
No.
Oh my god!
What?
There's always a joke about you can go down to Home Depot and pick up any Mexicans to work on your project.
I did not know that.
No?
No, but then again, I'm not.
Oh my
I'm
gosh!
not
I have to
searching
send you
for
videos.
people to work for me. So,
Yeah, you just go over there. Like you need something done. You're like you need some yard work done. Just go to Home Depot. They'll be standing up. I don't think we have it in this area as
mm-mm.
much as like other areas, but
I don't think you see that much anymore anyway.
yeah. No, back then it was well, and so I got the job because I was living in Nampa, which is where you used to live
Hmm.
uh, recently. um, and I just couldn't find anything. Um, it was literally every day trying to find something.
Yeah.
Then I got the job at the prison and moved back to Ontario. No, yeah, we moved to
Yeah.
Ontario, but uh, the economy really like determined where we lived,
Yeah. I think that's
which
been
is
the same
weird. Like
for a
now that
lot
you
of
say
people.
about like the depression and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but
No,
um,
it was pretty
not
bad
even close
during.
to that bad. But it's kind of like the economy determined where we lived.
Yeah. See, I mean, you say it wasn't that bad, but then when you look back on it and compare the two, they were pretty similar. I think I was comparing one day I was comparing the cost of living back then to the cost of living like in like 2008, where
Yeah,
like the economy was really bad, and it was
yeah,
pretty freaking similar. And when you adjusted for inflation, so
yeah,
it was pretty
yeah.
pretty pretty close.
I was gonna say I don't think I was making very good money back then.
Mm-hmm.
In Boise area, Nampa. I mean, I lived in Nampa, but we did work all over. And at the time, Boise was like the money pot. Like if you work, you were able to get up on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked on some like $1 million homes and stuff up there, but still, even then, I was making. I
$8.
think no, it wasn't that bad.
$12 probably. I think that seems reasonable.
I think I was making like 15, $16 an hour.
See, that's quite a bit for that time period.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean
But
that's where I'm at now. Is those hills, the mountains
yeah.
in Boise. So it's pretty. I can definitely see all the fancy stuff out here. It's kind of wild.
Oh, that's where you're at.
Yeah, like there's
I didn't get to see your
literally like
apartment.
a minute or two
Holy
away,
cow! Look at
you could
you.
see the like the super fancy big old homes in the suburbs,
Oh,
like bigger than I've ever seen before.
uh, just throw this out there. Um, just cause. Not that I. One of the houses I worked on. She was married to Mr. Olympia.
Mr. Olympia?
Yeah, like Arnold. Not Arnold, but
Uh,
uh,
I don't know
I
any
can't remember his
Olympians.
name.
Was it Arnold?
No, it wasn't Arnold. It was, but that he had that trophy or title or whatever.
So you got to see it.
No, well, it wasn't Arnold stuff. It was, I think it was either the guy before or just after Arnold.
Oh, I see.
Um, I can't remember his name, but yeah, she had some money.
Yeah, it's funny. Idaho has some of the like the most millionaires per state or blah 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 in the
Oh yeah,
entirety of the U.S. Which is crazy because you come to Idaho and you're like, "Where's the millionaires at? What are you talking about,
yep,
millionaires?"
yep, yep. No, yeah. I mean, back then, I think so. We worked on her house. There was a couple other ones. I I know Bruce Willis was in the area. He had a house there
Yeah, a lot of
somewhere.
celebrities have been. I've heard
I think he
celebrities
still
live
has.
here and
I don't know if he
come
still
back.
has that house because it was more down. Uh, that like the foothills. That it's not
Yeah, I mean it makes
Boise.
sense.
It's
Like
like
Idaho is a pretty place. It's cheap compared to everywhere else. There was a lot of land back then, I assume, that you could buy up. So it makes sense that they
oh
would
yeah.
buy
Back
such a
then, yeah,
big.
there was tons of land.
Hmm.
It's crazy how much it's grown.
Yeah, there's still, like I said, there's
Crazy.
still a pretty heavy presence of celebrities here. It's just you never see them. Uh,
I think this is their vacation home
yeah,
city
that's
or
what I think it
town.
is. Is like a vacation area. Because I knew like There's a couple that came down here this at the beginning of the year, and it was like blowing up on social media. Like, oh my God, this guy's here. This guy's here. Oh, this guy's here
Yep.
now. Uh, that's cool. But one celebrity that I know frequents here is Post Malone because
Oh, really?
he lives in Utah, but there's a gun tuber named Garantham who just bought a
Yep.
ranch in Idaho and moved down here.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and he's always posting pictures and videos on like Instagram of him shooting with Post Malone. And I'm like, they're definitely Post Malone's coming to Idaho like frequently enough that he's going out like shooting in full tactical gear and stuff like that with Garantham, and it's really cool.
That's awesome. That's funny that you brought that up because I think the last video that you sent to me, and I don't know how I pick it out. I don't know if it's like the area or the. 'Cause I don't like hike or any of that, but it just I've caught a couple people and like they have to be from Idaho. They
Yeah,
have like the background
yep, that's Garantham.
and it's mostly just trees and mountains and stuff like that. I'm like they have to be from Idaho. You know, like do some research and yep, they're from Idaho
Yep,
or they're in Idaho.
they're in Idaho. It has a very noticeable landscape,
Yeah, it does.
so
Yes, it does.
it's pretty cool to see.
Hey,
Just a short little pause there. We were talking about how we noticed that Idaho landscapes were in GunTuber videos and stuff like
oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
Somehow we
I was
found it.
watching. God, who was I watching the other day? I don't know. Oh, this lady, she was advertising homesteads,
Hmm.
and she said she had bought this homestead in Idaho, and she showed a picture of the radio. I was like, holy cow, she's right here in our town.
Yep, right next to me.
Yeah, well, she got a homestead, so she got like 30
Yeah,
acres.
that would be so
Actually,
cool.
she's got a pretty cool little thing going on. I don't know uh, how it works, but she tries to figure out. Instead, like she's like a realtor,
Hmm.
but she figures out ways of doing the loans like owner carry by contract
Hmm.
instead of getting the banks involved. So it's kind of cool.
That's kind of rad. Yeah,
But,
it's smart.
yeah, I wouldn't mind having a homestead.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Another move. I don't think I'm gonna be here forever, but I do like where we're at.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't
I
want to really
really
want to
do.
move either.
I enjoy those areas of Idaho, and I like people are like, oh, like why don't you move somewhere else? And it's like, well, I like Idaho. There's really nothing wrong
Yeah,
with it. Everybody's like, oh, the people suck, blah blah. I'm like, no, they don't. People don't suck
no,
here.
they just don't like your shitty attitude.
Yeah, it's like go somewhere else, and you'll see the people here don't suck.
Yep.
And then like the only thing that's really not great about it is the economy here. But you know, that's what it is, man. Like the economy's not
Yeah.
great
Well, and
anywhere, but
it's kind of crazy because you could go and depending on how you want to do things. If you want to travel for an hour, there's good money,
hmm,
and then you can come live the simple life north of Boise.
yeah,
Not an hour, but um, I know a lot. There's a lot of people that do that. Like
yeah. There's some guys I
especially in
work
the town
with.
I live in.
Yep, I think I work with a guy that lives down there in Weiser and comes to work over here every day.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
actually he
There's
worked at the prison, and he was like, I think I might know your dad. And I showed him a picture of you, and he's like, oh, never mind.
oh,
Yeah.
you're like, no, that looks like an inmate.
Hmm?
You're like, no, he's not an inmate. He was an
Yeah.
officer.
I was like, he looks like an inmate, but he works there. He's employed by the penitentiary or whatever it's called.
Yep. Uh, I went to a job interview the other day, and they're like, "So what have you done before? Like, what's your work?" I was like, "I worked at the prison for 16 years." And it's like, "You've been in prison for 16 years?"
No.
No, not what I said. yes, I look like I've been in prison for 16 years, but
Look at the resume, bro. I gave you the resume.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Employed by so and
I,
so
I, I
person.
like
Yeah, but I don't.
But
I,
yeah,
I agree. I don't think I'd ever move out of Idaho, at least.
I thought about moving to back east. There's some really, really cheap property right now back
Hmm.
east, which I know within the past couple of years, well, 2 years, uh, people with money have been buying stuff up over there, so I know it's gone up.
Hmm.
Uh, but you could buy homesteads and stuff like that, like 13 acres, 20 acres, 30 acres, um, for like hardly anything.
Compared to everywhere
When I
else.
first moved to the town I'm in now, Weezer, you could buy a house for $80,000. It was
Hmm.
like a tiny house, and then you completely remodeled, but it'd have a good little lot in town, and I mean, $80,000 isn't nothing.
But it's definitely a lot
Um,
cheaper than we see it now.
oh yeah, but um, I think those houses are going for like 200 right now,
Yep.
200 plus. Um, but yeah, I know there's property back east, and I've talked about it, and Darcy, my wife, she used to live back east. She's like, I love it over there. It's pretty, but it's humid as hell.
Hmm.
She's like, that's probably about the only worst thing out of the whole thing is it's humid.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of good places out there that like. It's always funny to see that a lot of people hate like the area they came from. Like for example, a lot of Idaho people are like, "Oh man, I hate Idaho. I'm leaving here," and then they leave Idaho, and I was like, "Man, what are you gonna find that's better?"
Go to California.
Yeah, like go to
Yeah,
California, go to like Seattle or something. I was like, what's there?
hippies and
Yeah, which whatever you like that lifestyle, but it's you can live a hippie lifestyle in Idaho where it's nice.
yeah, no kidding. On your own, yeah, just yeah. I I do love Idaho, and my one buddy I was talking about earlier, uh, he moved up north,
Hmm.
um, and I know he loves it. So that's good. Yeah, there.
Idaho is
I'm
like
glad
the
people get to move this direction
yeah,
and
yeah.
experience it. It's definitely made a difference in our economy here. Um,
That's just
the
because there's
influx
I mean
into
there's
the
less
area,
money
but
going around here, so it's like
yeah,
that's just how it is. But when you come from a place where like you make a ton of money, then you come over here and you're like, oh, I'm making nothing, then you hate it.
yeah,
Or when you compare it to other places,
yeah, yeah.
I think Idaho has
But
just like the perfect like you got crazy different like wildlife stuff. Like you got like deserts
yeah,
and
oh yeah.
forests, and you got lakes and stuff like that.
That's exactly what I was just
And then
gonna
you
bring
have
up.
like
Is like,
cities and small towns. You have like it's the perfect combination of everything.
oh, yeah, it just depends. I mean, you can go probably an hour and a half. Well, you don't even have to go that far, but an hour and a half in any direction, and you'll find something completely different.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, you can go 20 minutes. Like where I live, um, a small town. If I can go 20 minutes north and be right up in the mountains and
Hmm.
the evergreens and stuff like that. The uh, pine trees and
Temperature changes
uh,
and
yeah, like I mean, I see elk, deer, bear, uh, whatever. And then I can go another 45 minutes south or an hour south and be right in the like
heart of the
for
city.
me, yeah, that for me the big city.
Yeah.
Um, like we always say we're going to town and it's not even close to a
No.
city. It's just or a town. I mean, it's just it's small. It's got a Walmart, and that's what we call going to town. But Yeah, I do like this area a lot. It's been, oh, look who just showed up. Yep. Out. Your baby sister.
Oh, she's actually visiting.
Yeah. It's here
Nice,
6
nice.
weeks.
Well, are we gonna cut it there then?
Yeah. I mean, would you want to kind of wrap it up? You got something to kind of close it better than that?
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely been an experience moving, and it
Yeah.
definitely won't be the last time. And I hope that anybody that
Especially for
listened.
you.
Oh yeah. What? Go ahead.
I think I'm on my second to last, if not
Yeah.
my last. I'm
Yeah.
good where I'm at,
Yeah.
but
See, I mean, if I could find somewhere back down there and have like either the same job or a similar job, I'd totally do it. Because as much as I like the
I
city,
think you
because
need to
there's
find a
things.
place
Mhm.
that has a lot of land where I can put all my junk cars at.
Oh, how about I make a shooting range and then you can put the cars there and we can just
Oh,
shoot the
there you
cars.
go. There you go.
Because we know you'll never use them again.
No, yeah.
But
Just having them though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think finding a job like what I have and moving away from the city because I like the city because there's more things to do. But at the same time, you don't really need more things to do if you have a couple things you really enjoy. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of find it funny that my parents like the city,
Hmm.
um, but I've lived over there before. Like I said, when the economy made me go that way, um, it wasn't bad. I didn't. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah, it's not
Moving to
terrible.
Weezer, which, like I said, I moved back to Payette, which is in between here and there.
Hmm.
Um, I always loved it because it's right in the middle.
Hmm.
Uh, but when I moved to Weezer, it's like so much. The
Yeah,
people are different.
I didn't even like.
Uh,
I've never even actually lived in Weezer, and I think I like Weezer a lot more than
yeah,
other
I
places.
I I didn't even want to move here,
Hmm.
but I did, and I don't regret any day of it. It's like I said, the people are different. Like I can drive down the road, and every car that passes by, they'll wave at me, and
Hmm.
hey, what's up? We actually had in our family come through town, and they're like, "Why is everybody waving at me?"
Yeah,
That's what they do.
and you're like, dude, just wave back.
Yeah, that's what we do here. Like, just be friendly.
Hmm.
Um, but if you want to move to Weezer, there's no space, so
Yeah, it's too
um,
expensive, so
yeah,
don't move there.
find somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think on that note, it's a perfect place to end off.
All right.
Yep.
Well, let's hopefully we can get another podcast going again real quick, maybe this next weekend. I
Yeah,
know I have a topic I want to talk about, and
I
I think
think
you
you
had
do too.
another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was fun.
Um,
I definitely missed it. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun to do it.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
yeah.
let's get back into it.
Hmm. Let's
Uh, don't move. It sucks.
don't move anywhere. If you've had any
Especially the
moving
Weezer.
experiences that were crazy or that you'd like to share, go ahead and tell us about it. Well, I'll read them. I don't know if he will read them, but I will.
I, I will read them too.
Okay. We'll both read
I've
them.
been looking and looking for a comment, and somebody comment, please.
Comment, please. We would love to interact. Um,
Yes, we would.
but yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, share, follow, press all the buttons.
Click all the buttons.
Yep, there we go, and we'll see you next time.